I love to read. I didn't love to read when I was in high school, and I really didn't love to read when I first got to college. But after reading a couple of really great books, I learned that it was a whole new journey I had never been on. And as an adult, I read incessantly. I read a minimum of 12 to 15 books a year, and I read in the morning and I read in the evening. And I'm so thankful and grateful I've learned how valuable that can be to my education, because I'm always growing and I'm always learning. And if I'm going to be successful, I need to learn more. I need to grow more. We often have a tendency to talk about life and wealth at Freedom Street Partners because life comes before wealth. And so I'll mention one of the really great books on a life philosophy that I found very empowering was John Maxwell's 15 Laws of Invaluable Growth. I felt like I could read a chapter every morning and I would write something about that chapter. I would think about it every day, and then I'd go into the next day and read another chapter and move forward. It was something that I worked through and really found enjoyable. And then I went on to teach it. And that made me learn even more, not only about my perspective, but other people's perspectives. On a wealth perspective, it also goes with life, and that would be Think and Grow Rich. To me, Napoleon Hill was just amazing. To spend 20 plus years researching the men who built America and the people that you see and hear about as you know, the Industrial Revolution type of founding fathers is just amazing. Thomas Edison and Henry Ford and the people that really shaped a lot of how we live today, but not what they did, but how they did it and why they did it and what their mindset was. Because to me, mindset was so important. Getting the mind straight was so important to being successful for any of those people. And I like to remind myself of that. Another book I'll mention as I talk about this is Viktor Frankl, A Man's Search for Meaning. Such a wonderful life book. But just remembering and understanding that there's a split second we all have to choose how we receive information. And watching Viktor Frankl come up with these concepts after serving in multiple concentration camps during World War II and understanding how his story affected the result of what he wrote and how that book has just changed the lives of so many people across the world, especially those that have suffered immensely. I just found that so empowering. And as I posed the question to a lot of parents recently about how we're going to educate our children, one of the things I got to thinking about is, what were life-changing books for you? What were the books that allowed you to really see the world in a different way? See yourself in a different way. See your family in a different way. What helped make you who you are today? What books, if you were putting together a list of books for your children to read over, let's start them in high school, okay? Let's start them in high school. What are some of the books that you would say really stood out? I've put together a list of about 10 books that I'm going to get out to everybody that wants it. And these are important to me. They may not be important to you. They may be too long. You'll know your own child. You'll know what's important to them. But I would encourage you to post and tell us, what's a book that stood out? Maybe I missed one. Maybe I missed 10. I'm sure I missed a ton, but I'd love to learn from you. What is a life-changing book? A friend of mine has been asking his friends that question for a number of years now, and the answers he's been getting have been amazing. So I wanted to ask you that question. Help me for my high schoolers. Help us educate our children at a time where they need all the extra support and help they can get. I'm Scott Danner, and if you want to get this list, make sure you visit our website, and I'll have a place where you can go on, grab it, and download it. Thanks so much for joining me, and I can't wait to hear what book changed your life or made the biggest difference that all of our high school kids need to be reading.